The Prosperity Thought by Charles Fillmore. The prosperity thought is for everybody. Whoever you are and wherever you may be, you can join with us in the thought and get the results in a greater prosperity. It is your birthright to be prosperous. In the great source of all, there is no thought of lack, and it has no right in the mind of man. Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." This has been interpreted by the various sects to mean, belong to our church, and the Lord will prosper you. But a fuller understanding of the law of creation reveals that this righteousness is not conforming to some religious belief, but becoming right mentally, regardless of creed, dogma, or religious form of any description. Get into the right thought, and you will demonstrate prosperity. Cultivate a habit of thinking about abundance everywhere, not only within the images of your imagination, but in the forms without. When Jesus was shown the piece of money with the image of Caesar upon it, and said, "Render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's," he did not mean to make a great separation between the two, as if they were at enmity. The lesson was one of right relation. Know where the material belongs and put it there. Know where the spiritual belongs and render unto it its own. First of all, remember that prosperity does not depend upon condition or environment wholly. Poverty is a condition brought about by certain ideas ruling in consciousness. Change those ideas, and the condition changes in spite of environment. Those who come suddenly into riches without the consciousness of riches as a balance wheel soon part with their money. Those who are born and bred to riches usually have plenty, though they never make an effort to earn $1 themselves. This is because the idea of plenty is so interwoven in their thought atmosphere that it is part of their very lives. They have no concept of a condition where the necessities of life are lacking. Like Queen Elizabeth, who, when told that the poor had no bread, said, "Let them eat cake." These children of luxurious ideas give no place in their thought to the poverty possibility. And it is woe unto them if they, through sympathy or study, enter into the contemplation of a condition where there is lack. They invariably reap the result in a slipping away of their financial resources. Then you advocate the accumulation of riches? We are asked. No, we advocate the accumulation of rich ideas. When one has large ideas of bounty, there is no necessity for laying up gold, nor investing in stocks or property that will ensure a steady income. The rich ideas will keep one in constant touch with abundance, and with it may be a great generosity, and yet no fear of depletion. Those who have the accumulative thought dominant in the financial world are unbalanced, because there is a thought of fear of loss of riches. This makes the tenure insecure. It is based upon a wrong idea of the source of riches and eventually meets disaster. The sin of being rich is the love of money. This is material selfishness and leads to soul starvation. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Certain reformers are sowing broadcast the idea that it is a crime to be rich, even prophesying that a war between the rich and the poor is impending. It is a crime to hoard money, but a virtue to be rich. The fact is that the rich are the salvation of the country. If we were all in poverty, famines would be as prevalent here as they are in India. In that land, millions upon millions of people are held in the perpetual thought of poverty and hunger, and want, in all its forms, is with them from the cradle to the grave. This awful burden of poverty thought acts upon the fecundity of Mother Earth, and year after year, she withholds her products and millions of Hindus starve in consequence. It is the rich thought that does things. The man of resources has confidence in a providing power. He may not be in possession of $1 himself, but he knows that his undertaking has merit and that the money to carry it forward will be forthcoming. This is true riches, confidence in a resource that is ever ready to meet our righteous demand. Some people think that all one has to do is sit down and hold thoughts of abundant supply, and it will come without other effort. This is a limitation of the law to thought alone. The law must be fulfilled in manifestation also. Holding the thought of abundance is the first step in the process. Being alert in doing whatever comes to you to do cheerfully and competently is the second step. This second step is very essential and necessary to the fulfillment of the law. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. This is a truth. The one mind that moves all nature is in possession of all its products. Tiny personal man uses all his craft to get control of these products, but is always defeated in the end. The universal man is in permanent possession, and it is unto him that the Father says, "All mine are thine." Jesus did not own a foot of land, had nowhere to lay his head, and was evidently without money. His disciples carried whatever funds the company had. He did not burden himself with even the tub of Diogenes, yet he was always provided with the very best of entertainment. He took for granted that what he needed was his command. If it was wheat, he entered the field and plucked it. If it was a room for a feast, he sent word to the owner that he had need of it. He demonstrated that he was the Son of God. The fishes carried his pocketbook. His sideboard was the invisible ether, from which he easily handed out food for thousands. He was rich all the way through, and he proved that the earth does belong in all its fullness to the Lord, and that his righteous sons are in possession of everything. Jesus said, "Be not anxious for your life, what you will eat, nor yet for your body, what you will put on." Read Luke 12 verses 22 to 34, Revised Version. The Old Version says, "Take no thought for your life." This is not the correct translation. Jesus was giving a treatment against mortal thought, anxiety, and fear of future lack. The assurance of the all-providing care of God, as illustrated by the lilies of the field and the sparrows, is striking and convincing. The anxious thought must be eliminated, and the perfect abandon of the child of nature assumed. To this, add the thought of unlimited resource, and you have the fulfillment of law divine.